We're live. Hi, everybody. It's Thursday afternoon, the 26th of March. Getting ready for our 5:30 post-work workout. Today, we're going to do a beginner's routine. I'm basically not going to use any equipment except possibly if you have some at home, some light weights. So nothing more than about a kilo each. If you don't have any weights, you can also use a can. That's a old school way of adding a little bit of weight and difficulty. But yeah, most of these things you can also do without the weights at all. So I hope everybody's had a good day. You're ready for a little bit of a stretch. We're going to keep the pace fairly slow. You can always advance things by, I'll add some optional advancements if you want them, or just keep it modified, but I'll just kind of pitch this at a fairly modified level. So we're going to go ahead and start standing up. It's about a minute too, so I'll just kind of do a couple of little stretches, mobility, if anyone's kind of tuned in a little bit early. But just kind of just be aware of how you're standing. It's good to do these awareness checks throughout your day. So just whether you're sitting or standing, walking, just thinking about that string out of the top of the head, just lengthening, rolling the shoulders kind of back and down. Try not to kind of jam them back like that, but just keep a nice, natural, soft shoulders. And again, always that lengthening. That just kind of naturally pulls everything into alignment. Also, drawing your abdominals in, add a little bit of a pelvic floor lift. We're going to have a look at the feet. Make sure your toes aren't turned out at all. They're not turned in. Toes and heels in a line. And we're going to breathe out. I want you to bend the knees, lift the arms up. Breathe in, come back to standing. Breathe out, drop the hips down. Inhale, back to standing. Stay there for 3. So as you're dropping the hips down, have a look down and make sure your knees are tracking over your toes. They're not kind of pulling in towards each other. Or maybe your pattern is for those knees to roll out away from each other. Try to imagine you're holding something between your knees. Last 2. And 1. Now take the hands down to the side. Breathe in, lift the arms all the way up. And then as you breathe out, come up onto your toes. Lift the heels high and then drop the hips low. Lift and lower through your heels and your hips up and down. Stay there for 4. So as you're lifting your arms up, try not to flare the ribs. Keep your rib to hip connection. Keep the belly button pulling in. Keep the shoulders soft. Last 2. Hold the last one up nice and high. Now let's try to balance. Keep the hips still as we twist the shoulders. So turning towards that right corner of the room. Breathe in slowly back to the center. So you can lift a little higher, twisting to the left corner of the room. Breathing in, come back to the center, zipping the core tight. One more time each way. Twisting right. Exhale. Inhale. If you lose your balance, that's okay. Just jump back in. Twist left. Exhale. And inhale. And then reach your arms out to the side. Drop your heels down to the mat. Drop your chin to your chest, round your spine, and slowly start rolling down over your legs. Just hanging over the legs. Nod the head. Shake the head side to side. And then sway your arms left and right. Just kind of sweeping your fingertips along the mat if you can reach the mat, or just kind of hang them in the air if you can't hit the mat. Most of you probably won't be able to. Last 2. 1. Come back to the center. Bend the knees, scoop the abdominals in, and slowly articulate your spine. So imagine your spine like building blocks, just stacking one on top of the other. Vertebra on top of vertebra, shoulders on top of ribs, head coming up on top of the shoulders. Last, inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, up into your balance, onto those toes, hold. And then lower the heels down. Now you're going to reach the hands behind your back, lift the arms, lift the chest, really open that chest as you look up to the ceiling. And then again, drop your hands down along your sides. Drop your chin around the spine. Once again, we're just going to slowly roll down. So imagine like rolling a carpet all the way down. Just hang over your legs. Bend your right knee. Keep the left leg straight. And then switch it. Left knee bends, right leg straight. Bend the right knee. Bend the left knee. One more time each way. Right knee bends. Then bend the left knee. And then bend both knees. Now get your hands to your mat. Walk your hands slowly forward as you breathe out. Now we're going to lift the head, drop your hips, relax your shoulders, and then lower your knees down to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, lift the knees up. Exhale. Inhale, lower. Try to keep your shoulders over your hands. Press into your fingertips. Spread the weight of that body right to the ends of your fingertips. So we're not overloading the wrists. Last 2. If this feels too strong, Just do single knees. Just lift one knee up and down, then the other knee up and down. Whichever one you're doing, let's go for 4 more. Now more advanced if you want. 3, last 2. And 1. Now lift your hips high, press into your heels, walk your hands back to your feet, bend the knees, and slowly roll yourself back up once again. Once you come all the way up, I want you to lift your left arm up. So I'm going to turn so you can see what I'm doing. Left arm reaches up to the ceiling, right hand slides down the side of the leg. We're not doing this, we're not leaning to the side, we're going straight up. So it's like a helium balloon. It's pulling you nice and high. We're just trying to lengthen, kind of open up those ribs on that left side. Then breathe in, right arm goes up, lifting and lengthening through the right side. Inhale one more time each side. Left arm reaches, lengthening. Inhale, then right arm up. And down. And just roll your shoulders back a couple of times, just getting the shoulders nice and loose. Roll them forward. I'm going to turn side on again. Just one more time, you're going to drop your chin, round your spine, roll all the way down to the mat. Hold there. Bend your knees, get the hands to the mat, and then walk your hands forward. Breathe out as you come forward. Good. From here, now we're just going to lift the hips up, press into your heels, try not to slide. Inhale, shoulders over the hands. Exhale, lift the hips up, press into the heels. Inhale, back into your plank. So actually with the breath, it doesn't really matter. Whatever just feels more natural to flow. You might find that you exhale as you come down into your plank and you inhale as you lift back up. Doesn't really matter when you're breathing with this one, as long as you're never holding the breath. Last one, inhale, let's lift. Exhale, lower. Now drop the knees down. I want you to walk your hands back a little bit so you're on all fours. Shoulders down the back, zip the belly button up and away so we're not collapsing into that lower back like that. We're just lifting and a nice straight back. And then we're going to tuck the toes, lift your knees just 1 inch up off the mat. Scoop the belly button in tight, big pelvic floor lift. And then inhale, lower the knees down. Exhale, hover the knees just up off the mat. Slide the shoulders down the back. Really hollowing, scooping, finding that kind of vacuum through the abdominals, pulling the kind of soft tissue up under your rib cage. One more time, breathing out, drawing in, lifting that pelvic floor. Hold there for 3, 2, and 1. Now drop the knees down. You can just let your feet drop out. Take your right hand and slide it through the body. Keep reaching all the way through until the head and shoulder comes down to the mat. Then lift your left arm up to the ceiling. Inhale, hold. Expand your ribs as you inhale. Then take your left hand down to the mat. Right hand comes back through the body. Right fingertips up to the ceiling. Same side again. We're going to take that right arm through, breathing out. As you slide the arm through, hips over the knees. Inhale, hold. Let's lift the left arm up. Expand the ribs as you inhale. Then take the left hand down. Right hand back through. Fingertips up to the ceiling. And then right hand down to the mat. We're going to do 2 on the other side. Left arm slides through that body. Keep reaching through. Head and shoulder come down to the mat. Inhale, lift the right arm up. And then take that right hand down to the mat. Left arm comes back through. We reverse the twist of the spine, looking up to the ceiling, making sure that hand is right over your shoulder. Then again, tucking the arm through the body, sliding it across the mat, breathing out, lifting the right arm. Inhale. And then exhale, take the right hand down. Left hand comes back through. And one last time, lifting that arm up. Good. Now just step your feet back. I want you to come all the way down onto your hips and lift up onto your elbows. Lace your fingers, slide the shoulders down the back. We're going to breathe out, lift the abdominals, and come up to your knees. Now really try to tuck your tailbone slightly, slide your shoulders down. Hold here. Now, if you want to, you can always just stay here if this feels strong enough for you, or if you want to advance, we're just going to lift one knee up. Breathing out, left knee comes up. Inhale, both knees down. Breathe out, right knee comes up. Inhale, down. Just pedal through those knees. Left knee goes up, right knee stays down. Both knees are down, then the right knee goes up and down. So there's always at least one knee on the mat. If this is getting into your lower back, just hold both knees down or take a little break and stretch out. We're going to aim for 4 more. One knee up and down. Other knee up. Really press the mat away. Keep your shoulders strong. Last 2 and down. And 1 and down. And try to drop the hips. Look up to the ceiling. Stretch your body long. And then just coming all the way down to the mat. Let a little bit of a rock side to side, just massage out your lower back. And then we're going to spin ourselves around onto your back. So we're going to come up into what I call a tabletop position. Lift the right knee up, lift the left knee up, knees together, feet together. So your shins are basically your tabletop. We always keep those knees above the hips, button your ribs down towards your hips, draw the belly button in, and keep a neutral spine. So you should be able to slide a couple of fingers under that lower back. We're not tucking the tailbone and imprinting the spine into the mat. We keep that neutral with the hip bones and your pubic bone level. So the pelvis isn't tipping forwards. Imagine your pelvis holding water. It's not tipping out toward the wall in front of you. It's not tipping in towards your chest. Just staying nice and level. From here, now we're going to reach the head, lift your shoulders, and start pumping the arms. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, breathe out. Inhale with palms down. Exhale with palms up. Now, if you want to dial this back at all, you can drop your head down to the mat. If you want to dial it up, we stretch the legs out. 2, 3, 4, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out. Things to look out for. Try not to have floppy wrists. It's not like waving on hand. Strong arms like paddles. Breathing in. Look at the abdominals. If the abdominals are starting to dome up or tent up at all, scoop them back down. Belly button should stay flat. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. Let's go for 2 more breaths. Inhale. 2. Last one. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. Take the shoulders back. Hug your knees in and just circle the knees around a couple of times. Massage out your lower back. Okay, now hug your right knee in. Stretch your left leg long. Lift your head. Lift your shoulders. Breathe out. So this time we are imprinting that lower back into the mat. We're in imprint rather than neutral spine. Switch the legs. So your modification, head stays down. More advanced, head and shoulders up. Stay there for 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the shoulders back, draw the knees in, turn your head side to side, stretch your neck. Good, and take your hands behind the head. Keep the right knee into your chest. Extend your left leg out and take your left elbow. Try to touch your right knee, getting across that body. Then switch it. Right knee to left, right elbow to left knee, and switch again. So we breathe out with each twist. Inhale as you change. Feeling those muscles at the sides of the waist, the obliques, squeezing, tightening in as you turn from one side to the other. Try to keep your elbows as wide as you can. So that lower elbow really reaches down towards the mat as the top elbow touches the opposite knee. Stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2, 1, and then take the shoulders back, draw the knees in, and take a breath. Now lift the toes up to the ceiling, just rubbing the backs of the legs, warming up those hamstrings, circle your feet around. And then point the toes. Again, head and shoulders up off the mat. Hold the right leg, left leg drops down. Pull, pull, switch, pull, pull. So just get a little bounce there. Just to help you stretch a little further. Modification, heads down on the mat. You can also have the knees soft. They don't have to be perfectly straight. Keep the ribs down. Keep that lower back down. Either way, stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Shoulders down, knees in, and take a breath. Good. Okay, now I want you to pick up your weights, if you have them, and reach your hands over your shoulders. Lift your knees over your hips. Sink your lowest back rib down into the mat, but try not to imprint the spine. So we're back in our neutral. So hip bones and pubic bone level, not tipping forward, not tucking in. So in that nice neutral spine, little gap under your lower back. Now we're going to extend the right arm over your head and tap your left toe down to the mat. Breathe out, lift that arm and the knee back to our starting point. Inhale, lower the left arm and the right toe. Exhale, lift back up. Keep that lowest back rib down on the mat, but not imprinting the spine. Keep that natural curve through your lower back. Inhale down. Exhale. If it feels too strong with the weights, you can always drop the weights. Try to keep the knees over the hips. Don't let them creep in towards the body. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. So imagine a pool of water in your navel. Just try to deepen that pool. Add a little pelvic floor lift as well. Inhale and exhale. Last 2 and lift and 1 and lift. Hold here. Now the right arm and the left knee out to the side. Breathe out. Lift back to the dead bug position, into that middle point. I call that the dead bug. Left arm out, right knee out, and back to our starting point. So you have one arm, opposite leg, knee stays bent 90 degrees, keeping that neutral spine, keeping the pelvis from rolling. It's about controlling the movement of the pelvis, controlling the shoulders, so nothing should move except for the limbs, except for the arm and the leg. The hand and the knee that are not moving, also just have a little check that they're staying in place as the other arm and leg go out. One more time each way, breathing in. As you lower, breathe out as you lift. Last one in and out. Good. Now we're going to actually pop the weights down. And I want you to cross your arms across your middle. Pull the sides of the waist together. Draw the belly button in. And we're going to stretch the right leg long. Breathe in. Pull that knee back into your tabletop position. Breathe out. Left leg extends long. Inhale, knee comes back to tabletop. So you're using those arms to really wrap your transverse abdominis. That's your deepest muscle. When you engage that muscle, it should just pull it in, or you can also slightly push the sides of the waist together. It just helps to engage. It helps to really pull everything in tight. It's kind of a little reminder for the brain to send the right messages to that muscle, because it tends to be a fairly lazy muscle. It's going to let the rectus abdominis, your surface muscle, do the work. So we need to really help you to engage that muscle, to kind of tune into it, and then it becomes subconscious. You don't have to do the wrapping without feeling that sensation of pulling in. Last one, out and back. Okay, now we're going to take your hands behind the head. Breathe out. This is a little more advanced stretch. Both legs long. Add a little turn out. Turn your toes up. So there should be a V between your heels. And then breathe in. Take the shoulders down to the mat. Bend the knees. Breathe out. Peel the shoulders up. Stretch the legs long. Add a little rotation. Heels together. Toes turned out. Try to get the inner thighs together. And then breathe in. Take the shoulders back. Bend the knees. 2 more times. Shoulders up. Stretch the legs. Add that rotation. Zip the inner thighs. Lift your pelvic floor. Inhale back. Last one, shoulders high, legs long, little turn out, hold, and then inhale, take the shoulders back. Draw your knees in, rock side to side. Good. All right, take your hands behind the head, draw your chin into your chest so you're in a tight little ball. Add a little momentum. And see if you can roll yourself up to sitting. And then straighten up your back. I want you to kind of shift yourself back on the mat, grab your weights again. Good. So I'm going to turn to face you. I want to have your knees in line with your hips. Let's make a fist. And just the knees should stay about a fist distance apart. And take that fist away, pick up your weights, and touch your fingertips together in front of you, elbows out wide. We're going to breathe out around your spine. So just leaning back. Turn to show you what the spine is doing. We're in our C curve. So tucking, scooping the belly button in. Now turn, look over that right shoulder as you exhale. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, turn to the left. Inhale back to the center. Feel free to drop the weights if it feels too strong with the weights. Inhale, center. Exhale. So now keep checking that those knees are still that fist distance apart. There's no movement through the lower body, just twisting at the waist as you move these shoulders. One more time each way. Twist and center and twist and center. Let's have a quick stretch, straightening up the back. Inhale. And then back into our C curve. Tilt, scoop around the spine, roll yourself back, elbows out like you're hugging a big ball in front of you, and we're going to move down an inch and up an inch. Tuck and lift. Stay there. 6 and 5. Last 4, 3, 2. Hold the last one. Lift the right arm overhead. Exhale. Inhale down. Left arm overhead. Inhale down. Actually, this one's probably wouldn't really classify it as a beginning exercise. It's actually quite strong. Feel free to drop your weights if you need to, or take little breaks if you really are just starting out. Go one more time each way. Right arm up and down. Left arm up and down. And take the hands back to the knees and stretch out your back. Inhale. Okay, we're going to pop the weights away. We're going to breathe out, round the spine, back into our C curve. We're going to turn to the right. So I want both hands on the side of that right leg. but check if the knees haven't come together or rolled apart. They should still be in line with hips. We're going to extend the arms and then bend the elbows. Extend, just lower that chest and bend. If you feel like that's a little too easy, then just take your hands up. So it's like you're hugging that ball in front of you, just turning to the right. Keep going there 4 more times. Show what it looks like from here. 4 and 3. Last 2. And 1 quick stretch, straightening at the back. Inhale. And then exhale, tilt, scoop around the spine, turn to the left. Let's hold on to that left leg to start. Extend the arms, soften the elbows, extend and bend. Stay there for 6 and 5. Option to take those hands away. 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Hands come back to the knees, straighten up your back. Inhale. And with your next exhale, we're going to round the spine and come all the way down to the mat. So just slide your hands down the backs of those legs. Walk your feet in closer to your hips. Walk your hands a little closer to your feet. And then we're going to press our lower back down into the mat. Tilt the pelvis. Really curl that pubic bone in towards your chest. Draw the belly button in. Big pelvic floor lift. Imagine pulling that tailbone up to the pubic bone, lifting the back passage. Hold here so the hips stay down, ribs are down, lower back is down into the mat. Breathe into the sides of your body. Try to expand the ribs out to the side. And then as you exhale, just press that lower back a little deeper into the mat. Draw the belly button in a little tighter. Lift the pelvic floor a little higher. 1 more inhale to hold. And with your next exhale, I want you to peel your spine slowly up off the mat. So imagine your spine's like sticky Velcro. We're just trying to peel little by little all the way up until you're in a nice high shoulder bridge. Then we should still have about that fist distance between the knees. So just look down your body, make sure your knees aren't rolling out. They're not pulling in. They should be right in line with your hips. From here, let's actually lift the fingertips up to the ceiling. That's going to make it a little bit harder. Inhale, drop the hips down. Exhale, lift. Breathe in and out. If you want a little bit of stability, you can take those hands back down to the mat. But let's try to keep them floating up if possible. Stay there for 6 and 5. Last 4, 3, 2, and then hold the last one up. Little squeeze at the top. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now reach the arms all the way behind you, backs the hands touching the floor. Lift the hips a little higher, and then breathe out. Imagine your spine now like a bicycle chain, 1 link at a time, dropping down into the mat, articulating every joint as you slowly roll all the way down through that lower back, through the hips, through the tailbone, back into our neutral spine, and then breathe in. Take your hands back down along your sides. Now, I want you to pick up your weights again. Hands along the side. Lower back presses down. We're in our imprint, scooping and hollowing the abdominals, pelvic floor lifting up and away. Inhale into the sides of the rib cage. Exhale, press the lower back a little deeper into the mat. Lift the pelvic floor a little higher up into the body. 1 more inhale to hold. With your next exhale, again, start peeling that spine slowly up off the mat, 1 vertebra at a time, articulating. And then we lift the hands up. Now we're going to drop your elbows out to your sides. Stay in your shoulder bridge. Elbows touch the mat and then lift the weights over your chest. Breathing in as you lower, out as you lift. Stay there for 6. Keep the narrowness through the waist. So keep kind of checking those deep abdominals are tight. Imagine the belt kind of wrapping around your middle. Keep your hips high. Make sure your glutes, that's your bum, is engaged, kind of squeezing, working into that muscle. Think about a little bit of an inner thigh connection, pulling these slightly together but not actually touching them. Last 1, we're going to hold the arms up. Now face the palms in towards each other and open the arms straight out to your sides. Exhale, lift back up. Now if you need to modify this, if your glutes are starting to burn or you're feeling issues, any pain through your lower back, just drop the hips down and do it from here with the hips down. But staying in that shoulder bridge is going to make it much stronger exercise. So just listen to your body, whatever feels right for you. Stay there for 3 and lift. Last 2. Really open that chest out. So think about them like the stretch as well as the strengthen. So as you open the arms out, really reach and then back. Last 1, out and lift, and then turn the palms back to the hands, reaching to the floor behind you. Control. Don't let them fall down, and then drop your rib cage down first. Tilt the pelvis to get through your middle back. Really lifting the hips high to get through every joint of your lower back before your hip bones and your tailbone come down. Let's actually leave those weights behind and pull your knees into your chest. Add a little bit of movement side to side. Good. Pull your chin in. We're going to roll up to sitting. Stretch your legs out. Just slide your hands down those legs, wrapping around the back to the calves. Bring your chest down towards your knees, and then breathe in. Articulate your spine back into a perfectly straight back, and string out the top of the head. Float your hands up, and we're going to breathe out. Tilt the pelvis. I want the legs together, toes pointing. Roll yourself halfway back. Hold here. Lift your right arm. Left arm crosses the body. Breathe in. Lift your left arm. Right arm crosses the body. Inhale, get that arm up to the ear as the other arm reaches across. So the pinky of the lower arm touches the outside of the opposite thigh. Stay there for 4, 3, inhale, exhale. Last one. Reach both arms in front and then reach forward again. Reaching to that wall in front of you, lengthening the spine, and then inhale, straighten up back. Shoulders down. Exhale again, rounding the spine, rolling yourself halfway back. This time we're going to reach the arms up. Inhale down. So stretching the legs, keeping the legs long and heavy on your mat. Stay there for 3 and down and 2 and down. Last one. As the arms come down, and we reach forward, stretching over those legs. This time grabbing your feet, your ankles, your knees, wherever you can reach, and pulling that chest a little closer down. Really trying to get the backs of your knees down, and then flex your feet. Pull your toes in. Just feel how that changes the stretch. Now slide your left heel forward, pull your right heel back. So that's a bit of a sciatic nerve stretch for that right leg. So again, that right heel is just behind the left, so your legs are like train tracks. One sliding back from the other, then switch it. Right heel forward, left heel back. It's like a little shift. Your right hip is forward, your left hip is back. You can get to that foot, pull that foot in, or the ankle, pull that left ankle in, and you should feel that nerve that runs down the back of the leg. Let's go one more time each way. Right heel back, left heel forward, pulling that foot or the ankle in on that right leg as you lean forward. Last one, switch it. Good, come back to the center, straighten up the back, and let's spin it over to all fours. Good. So now your hands are under your shoulders, shoulders down away from the ears. Belly button pulled in tight, and we're going to slide that right leg back, flex the foot, and lift the leg up and down. So the key is not to move your spine at all as you move the leg. So we're not collapsing into your lower back, we're not sinking into your shoulders, we're not letting the head hang down. So there's a line that runs from your ears, through your shoulders, through your hips. And when that heel is up, it kind of goes through that heel as well. Stay there for 3 and 2. Last one. Now bend the knees, sole of the foot points up to the ceiling. Imagine you've got a T cut on the sole of that foot. Just carefully lift it up and down. Small movements, lift. Stay there, 8. Keep your ribs pointing towards your hips. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now point that toe, drop the knee, round your spine. Exhale. Inhale, lift the toe, lift the head. Exhale, round the spine. So really stretching that rounded spine, but be careful as you arch the back. Make sure if you have any kind of disc issues with your lower back, you don't want to exaggerate that one too much. Lift, but it's nice to just feel the spine moving, that fluid moving through the spine. Now let's just take that toe back up, come into a neutral spine. So we're not arching, we're just kind of staying in that neutral, lifting the lower back. Now turn the knee out to the side, circle that knee, 4 circles, and 3, up and around. Last 2. And hold, reverse your circles, 4 the other way. And 3, last 2. And when I stretch that leg out to the right corner of the mat, drop your right hip slightly, shoulders down, lift that leg up and down. Lift and lower, staying there for 6 and 5. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just drop that knee, sit back onto your heels, stretch your arms, rest your head. Good. Just circle your wrists a couple of times each way, just to kind of release any tension that may have built up before we do the other side. Once we're there, we slide the shoulders down the back, Zip the belly button up and away. Knees are directly under your hips. Left leg comes out. Lift and lower. So again, we're keeping that lower back lifted, keeping that core strong as we lift that leg. The leg is straight. The foot is flexed. Try not to have any bend in that knee. Good. Keep your head in line with your shoulders. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bend the knees, sole of it up to the ceiling. Imagine that teacup there. Little pulses up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now point the toe. Breathe out. Round the spine. Knee towards your forehead. Breathe in. Lift the head. Lift the toe. Breathe out. Stretching out your lower back. Breathe in. Arching. Lifting that head. So it's like a ripple that runs through the body from the shoulders down to the tailbone, and then from the tailbone back up to the shoulders. Then we pull back into a neutral spine, a straight back, rotate that knee out to the side, turn the toe in, and circle the knee up and around, up and around. So imagine you're trying to balance a marble in the crook of that knee. So trying to keep that knee really high so we don't drop that marble. Reverse your circles. 4 the other way. 3, 2, and 1. Extend that leg out to the left corner of the mat. Check that the left hip is down, right hip over the right knee. Press the mat away, and then lift that left leg a long diagonal and down. Squeezing that glute, that kind of muscle at the corner of where your hip pocket would be. As each time you lift that leg, just give that muscle a squeeze. Stay there for 5. Press into your fingertips, spread the weight to the ends of your fingers. We're not overloading the wrists. That's 2. Hold the last one up. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Toes together, knees apart, and sit back onto your heels. Direct your arms. Let your rib cage sink between your knees, and rest your head. Good. Slide your hands back. Roll through your spine. Wrap your hands together behind the back. Lift the arms. Look up to the ceiling. And then reverse that movement. Lace the fingers in front. Turn the palms out. Look down in towards your abdominals. Then lift the arms up. Just really lengthen through those the soles, the heels of your palms, and then sweep to the left, sweep to the right, back to the center. Open the arms out, and again, just roll the shoulders both ways. Good. All right, now we're going to pick up these weights again, and I'm going to get you up to standing. So let's have the weights in your hands. And then hopefully you can just lift your knees up and walk back with those weights. Bend the knees, hang the head, roll yourself up like a rag doll. Shoulders and head come up last. And then space the front. So think active standing. Feet hip width apart, toes and heels in a line. Reach through the top of the head and reach your arms out to the side. Shoulders down. Small circles. We'll do 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. And the other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the arms down. Exhale up. Full range of motion. Low to high. Breathe in. Breathe out. So think about the breath like a bellows. So the abdominals tight. Squeeze to give you a little more power to lift the arms up. Last 3. And lower. And 2. And down. Hold the last one up. And then just slowly lower the arms down with control. Take the hands in front. Roll the shoulders back. So I'm going to turn side on, button your ribs towards your hips. Zip the belly button in. Little squeeze the glutes. Lift the arms up. Inhale down. So I want you to be able to lift those arms without moving any other part of your body. So we're not using momentum to lift up. The movement is slow and controlled. There's no movement through the spine. Stay there for 4. And again, you can do this without the weights. Just imagine you're kind of squeezing, working those arms, kind of pushing them through almost just slightly wet cement. Really thick liquid. Lift, slow, and lower. Last one, all the way up and down. Good. Kind of roll out any tension that's built up through those shoulders. Now reach your arms out to the front. We're going to imagine we're treading water. So elbows out to your side, little circles for 4 and 3. Last 2. Keep the hands in line with your shoulders, shoulders in line with your, hands in line with your elbows, elbows in line with your shoulders. So make joints confused. 4, 3, 2, And 1, arms down, roll out any tension. Now zip your feet together, bend your knees, sweep the hips behind you, lean forward. I'm gonna breathe it out as you lift the arms up, inhale, lower. So see from the side, my ears, shoulders, and hips should all be in one line at about a 45-degree angle. So press into your big toes, lift your pelvic floor. I always call it integrating all of your muscles. We're working the legs, we're working the deep abdominals, the pelvic floor is lifting as you're opening up those shoulders and strengthening your upper back. Stay there for 3 and 2. Hold that last one out. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then take the hands down, stand, and roll the shoulders back and forward. All right, when you come back down to the mat, drop your weights. Feel free to grab a quick sip of water if you need just to take a quick breather. Almost finished. So I want you to come onto your side now. Drop your head up onto your elbow. We're going to bend the knees. Knees are at the front of the mat, and your feet are actually in line with your hips. We're going to extend that straight leg out, flex the foot, shoulders back, lift the leg up and down. So imagine there's like a little shelf that's in line with your hip. I don't want the foot going any lower than that shelf. So we don't want them to come down to here, up to here. We just stop at that hip height. Good. Stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Now hold there. We're going to swing the leg forward, sweep it back. Same again, forward and back. So it's like that foot is running along a track. It stays in line with your hip. Try to keep your back still. Keep the pelvis still. Last 2, exhale, inhale. 1 more, breathing out and in. Now hold there. We're going to extend your lower leg, point your toes. Lift the knee up to the ceiling, kick the foot up to the ceiling, flex your foot, draw your heels back together. 3 more times. Knee, toe, and reach. Last 2. Knee to ceiling, toe to ceiling. Get that leg as straight as you can. Keep the movement slow. Try to get the legs as straight as you can. Straighten up your back as well. Knee, toe, and reach. Now we're going to reverse that. Point your toe, lift the leg straight up, bend the knee, sweep the toe from the inside that lower knee to the heel. Lift, bend, and sweep as if you're striking a match, trying to get that friction between the toe and the lower leg hovering up off the mat. Last one, lift, bend, and sweep. Now extend your arm, take your hand, wrap it around the waist, keep that shoulder back, that top shoulder, but pull slightly through the lower oblique, the lower part of your waist. Lift the top leg, small circles here. You can either have that lower leg resting and your hand kind of helping you to support, or if you want more advanced, the lower leg hovers, the top hand goes up to the ceiling. That's 2 and 1. Reverse your circle, 6 the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now flex your feet, pull your toes in, sweep your legs to the edges of your mat. Both legs are straight. Sweep the other way. Keep that stability through the spine. Take your hand down to your belly button. Just draw the belly button in. Maybe take 1 or 2 fingers down to the mat to help you to stabilize. Keep the movement slow. Again, think feet running along tracks that stay in line with the hips. If you feel a little grinding through that lower hip, lift the legs a little higher. Slightly rock yourself back. That's 2 and switch. And 1 and switch. And then take the legs back together. Drop them down to the mat and slide your top knee forward. Now I want you to turn your palms up to the ceiling and reach both arms really wide to the sides of the room. Try to get that back hand down on the mat. I'm going to take that back arm and circle it over your head, past the front arm, past your legs, and one more time, trying to drag the back of that hand along the floor behind you, all the way in front. Now reverse your circles. Take the hand up over your head, down behind you, trying to get full mobility through that shoulder. Good. And once the hands come back together, you take your knees together and flip yourself over to the other side. So your head's propped up, shoulders back, feet in line with your hips, knees at the front edge of the mat, shoulders back, belly button in. Extend your top leg. Lift and lower. So that leg is straight. So imagine a wall behind us, the head, the shoulders, the hip. and that heel would all be touching that invisible wall. So you're kind of sliding that leg up and down that wall. What I often see in groups, probably what could be happening at home, is that hip comes back and the leg goes forward. So try to reverse that. So keep that leg in line with the hips. Your hips are perfectly stacked one on top of the other. That's 2 and 1. Now, foot stays in line with that hip. Imagine that shelf. We're just sliding forward and back. Breathe out and in. Don't let that foot get heavy and sink down towards the floor. Stay there for 3 and 2. Last 1 and back. Now stretch that lower leg out. Point the toes, shoulders back. Bend the knee shines up to the ceiling. Kick the toe to the ceiling. Flex foot, heels back together. Bend the knee. Lift the toe and flex and reach. 2 more. Knee to ceiling, toe to ceiling, and down. Last 1. Knee, toe, reach. Point the toes, stretch everything a little longer. Just find another inch of length through your body. Lift that leg straight up, bend the knees, sweep the toe from the inside of the lower knee to that heel. And then 3 more. Lift, bend, and sweep. Try to turn that knee up to the ceiling. So look down your body, try to pull that knee to the wall behind you. Last 2, bend and sweep. 1 more, bend and sweep. Now extend your arm, wrap the hands around the waist, shoulder back, belly button in, ribs towards your hips, and small circles. 6, 5. So either taking 1 or 2 fingers down to the mat, you can let that lower leg drop to the floor if you want to modify. If you want to dial it up, hand up to the ceiling. Last 2 and 1. Reverse your circles. Think up and around, keeping the energy in it without making it too fast, without moving anything through the waist, through the spine. Last 3, 2, and hold. Now flex your feet, stretch the legs wide, breathe in as you change, breathe out, stretch the other way. Try not to bend that knee on the lower leg. That's, again, kind of fairly common movement pattern. That lower leg wants to bend. Try to kind of force it straight. Imagine you got braces on the knees. Feel free to take your hands down to the mat. If it's grinding on that bone, just kind of rock slightly back. Good. Stay there for 4. Really stretching. 3. Last 2. Keep the movement still from the hips all the way up. Last 1. And then the legs come down to the mat. Drop the top knee forward. Now reach both arms out, palms up to the ceiling. Stretch the fingertips right to the edges of the room. You should feel the fascia, the kind of connective tissue of the inside of your arms really stretching, especially on that back arm. Swing the arm over your head, pass the arm in front, past your legs, all the way around again. When those hands come back together, we're going to reverse it. Back of the hands, sweeping along the floor over your head, reaching to that wall behind you, looking over that back shoulder. All the way around, and 1 more big circle, looking over the shoulder, and then back around to your front. Take your knees back together, come up to sitting, and we're actually going to flip straight over onto your front. So I want you to start with your elbows out to your sides, zip the belly button up away from the mat. So imagine a piece of paper from underneath your abdominals. You could slide that paper out. There's like a millimeter of light, or at least that sensation of being lifted up off the mat. Your pelvis should be level, so your tailbone's reaching a little bit towards your heels. We're not collapsing, arching that lower back too much. Now I'm going to lift the chest, lengthen from the tip of the tailbone right through the crown of the head. Inhale, lower the chest down. Exhale, lift. And lower. So try not to squeeze the glutes, try not to squeeze the bum. As you do this, just keep it through the upper back, keep that core strong. Last 3. 1, 2, again, always about lengthening as we strengthen. Now with this last one, I will lift your arms up as well. Inhale, drop everything back down. 2 more like that. Chest up, arms up, and down. Last one, lift up and hold. You can go a little higher, and then reach your arms to the front as you drop the chest. Lift the chest as you pull your arms back into a W shape. So it's like a swimming movement. Inhale, drop the chest, reach. Exhale, pull the elbows in. Inhale, lower. So just notice if you're clenching your feet at all or clenching the legs, try to relax your lower body. Keep this in the upper body. Lift and lower. With the next one, we're going to sweep the hands back along your sides. Turn the pinkies up to the ceiling. Imagine you're pinching a pencil between your shoulder blades. And then inhale, lower the chest down to the mat, back to the hands, touch the floor. As you exhale, lift the chest, turn the pinkies up to the ceiling, pull the shoulder blades together, zip the core in tight, and then inhale, lower all the way back down. 2 more times, chest up, fingertips or pinkies up to the ceiling, fingertips reaching down the sides of your legs. Inhale down. This last one, let's try to lace the fingers behind your back. Reach the hands down, like zip the heels together so you can lift your legs up. Hold there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the chest, drop the hands, drop the legs. And one last time, chest up, lace the fingers, reach the hands down the backs of the legs, heels together, lift the legs up and hold, looking at your mat for 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're gonna let everything come down. Take your hands under your shoulders. Sit back onto your heels to stretch your lower back. Good. Okay, we're gonna do a couple of stretches sitting. So I'm going to stretch your legs out to either side. Try to jiggle those legs a little bit. Really pull the feet in. Try to straighten up as tall as you can. Take your hands behind your head. And imagine you're like trying to pull your head off or really lengthen, almost pulling yourself up. Then turn, reach your opposite hand towards the foot. Try to touch your pinky to your pinky toe. Get the hand to the outside of that knee. Wherever you can reach, sliding a little further along, twisting the shoulders. And then again, breathe in, straight back, lift and lengthen, twist. And then open the arms out, reaching down towards that ankle with the opposite hand. Breathe in, lift, lengthen, hold, twist, and reach. And one more time, breathe in, lift, lengthen, twist, and reach. And then come back to the center. Imagine you're starting a big pot to circling forward, back and around. Forward, back and around. Good, 2 more. Last one, and then reverse it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten up the back. Now slide the hand down the inside of that leg. Reach the other arm up to the ceiling. Try to turn the torso, looking up at that hand as that hand reaches over to the opposite toe. Breathe in, straighten up the back. Hand comes to the inside of your left leg, elbow down, arm up, turning the torso, reaching the arm over your head, reaching towards that toe on the other side. And then breathe in, come back to the center, sweep the legs together, cross one foot over the other leg, wrap towards that knee. So if you've got your right arm around your left knee, and you've got it right, breathe in, straighten up your back, twist, look over the shoulder behind you, inhale, grow an inch taller, exhale, imagine wringing out a dishcloth, just twist a little further, and then switch legs. So now we've got our right leg crossing over the left arm wrapping around that knee. So again, it's opposite arm to knee. Inhale, stretch and lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more inhale to lengthen. And exhale to twist. Good. And then with both knees bent, I'm going to cross your right ankle across your left knee. So just sit up nice and tall if you can, maybe hovering your hips a little bit off the mat, little circles here. If you don't feel comfortable in this position, you can also come down onto your back and pull that knee in this way. So a little bit of movement side to side if you're on your back, or if you're still up, just kind of sweep left and right and then just sink down into that hip. Pull your shoulders back and then switch the legs. Left ankle over the right knee. Lift the chest, kind of try to push that left knee out. So you can lift your hips up, add a little movement, just hovering, circling around on your mat, circle the other way. Drop the hips down, straighten up the back. Take your feet down to the mat, just spin yourself over to all fours. You're gonna breathe out, drop your chin, tuck the tailbone, scoop the belly button in. Then tuck your toes under, breathe in, lift the hips high, arching into the back, trying to get your heels down to the mat. And then just pedal through the feet. Right heel down, left heel down, right and left, and both heels down. Walk your hands back to your feet. Nod your head yes. Again, just to stretch the back of the neck. Shake your head no. Bend your knees, scoop the abdominals in, and slowly roll yourself back up to standing. Shoulders come on top of the ribs, head on top of the shoulders. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, reach those fingertips. Find your balance once again, holding. And then reach your arms out to the side as you drop your heels down. Good, just roll the shoulders back. Great, well done everybody. That's your evening workout, your beginner workout. In the UK, I know everybody's gonna be clapping outside at 8 p.m. tonight, so hopefully you guys are joining in with that. We're gonna definitely be on our balcony saying thanks to the NHS for everything they do for us, especially in these days. All right, have a good evening and tune in. Follow Get Brooked on Instagram, email me or message me if you have any questions. We're also on Facebook, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks, bye.